Have you heard of the ongoing legal battle between the Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, and Ripple? It's a court case that could potentially shape the future of cryptocurrency regulations and determine whether it is considered a security or a commodity. So, are you ready to follow this gripping legal saga and learn more about its potential impact on the crypto world? Stay tuned, and don't forget to subscribe for more updates on the latest developments in the world of cryptocurrency. As I have mentioned earlier, the case at hand is the SEC versus Ripple. The court is set to determine whether cryptocurrency is a security or a commodity, which could significantly influence the future of the crypto industry. And there's more to the story. What's genuinely fascinating is that we may receive a decision by the first half of 2023, which means we could be on the brink of a significant shift in how cryptocurrencies are regulated. So, do you think the SEC will win the case, or will Ripple come out on top? Are you excited to see how this case plays out and how it could shape the future of cryptocurrency? The Ripple lawsuit, a game changer for cryptocurrency regulations. The SEC versus Ripple case is an impactful event in the world of cryptocurrency. It's an example of securities regulators taking action against an initial coin offering, ICO, which could potentially lead to tighter regulation of the industry. Ripple is being accused of illegally selling XRP to investors without first registering it as a security. Ripple argues that the token is not an investment contract, but instead used to facilitate cross-border transactions between banks and other financial institutions. If Ripple loses the case, it could have far-reaching consequences for the entire cryptocurrency industry. It may set a precedent for similar actions against other crypto projects, which could result in more regulation. On the other hand, a victory for Ripple could potentially limit the SEC's power and influence in the crypto world. Exploring Ripple and XRP. Let's talk about Ripple and its token, XRP. Ripple Labs was established in 2012 as OpenCoin, and it later launched the XRP token. Back then, there were only a few cryptocurrencies, so XRP was seen as a new solution for cross-border remittances with its large coin supply and fast transaction speeds. Back in 2017, XRP's market capitalization grew at an impressive pace, reaching billions of dollars in valuation in just a short amount of time. Its growth seemed unstoppable, and investors were eagerly jumping on board. But things took a turn for the worse in late 2020 when the SEC filed a lawsuit against Ripple, claiming that they had illegally sold XRP to investors without registering it as a security. This news caused a lot of panic in the crypto community, and even major exchanges like Coinbase suspended trading of XRP. As a result, XRP's value plummeted, and many investors were left feeling uncertain about its future. It's really unfortunate timing for Ripple Labs. The lawsuit against them came just before the biggest crypto bull market in history, where Bitcoin (BTC) skyrocketed to more than $64,000 per token in 2021. But during this same rally, XRP's price stayed relatively low due to investor concerns over the outcome of the SEC court case. It just goes to show how much the outcome of this case could impact the crypto industry. The final ruling in the SEC versus Ripple case is essential because it could have significant implications for the entire cryptocurrency industry. If Ripple loses, it could open the floodgates for similar actions against other crypto projects, potentially leading to tighter regulation of the industry. The SEC's argument is that Ripple's ICO, and by extension, other ICOs, are the sale of securities that must be registered. The Ripple lawsuit. An overview of the SEC's case. Let's take a closer look at the SEC's lawsuit against Ripple. The regulatory agency accused Ripple, as well as two of its top executives, Brad Garlinghouse and Christian Larson, of selling unregistered securities worth over $1.3 billion to the public through the XRP cryptocurrency. The SEC filing included transactions dating back to 2013 and continuing through late 2020, during which time more than 14.6 billion XRP were sold in exchange for cash. The SEC claimed that Ripple failed to file a registration document, which is required for companies in the stock market seeking to raise capital from the public. Furthermore, the regulator argued that Ripple created an information vacuum and only provided information when it deemed necessary. The implications of the outcome are significant for both parties and the wider crypto market. The SEC wants to bring the cryptocurrency industry under its regulatory purview, and a victory over Ripple would set this in motion. Ripple, on the other hand, could face a substantial fine, and key executives may also face further legal action. All of this could have an impact on the project's development. It will be interesting to see how this case unfolds and what it means for the future of cryptocurrency regulation. Will the SEC succeed in its efforts to regulate the industry, or will Ripple come out on top? Only time will tell. The Ripple lawsuit. Implications for the future of cryptocurrency. In September 2022, the head of the SEC, Gary Gensler, made a statement that most cryptocurrencies could be classified as securities. And this wasn't an isolated opinion. A proposed bill from U.S. Senators Cynthia Lummis and Kirsten Gillibrand, introduced in June 2022, suggests that most cryptocurrencies should be considered commodities. If that bill becomes law, the SEC would be responsible for regulating the entire industry, while the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, CFTC, would handle the derivatives and trading aspects. SEC versus Ripple case. What could happen next? As the SEC versus Ripple case drags on, the defense team has been pushing back, claiming that the case lacks merit. Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse has also criticized the SEC's obstructive behavior during the proceedings. The U.S. District Court for the Southern District of New York authorized the Chamber of Digital Commerce, CDC, to submit a friend of the court brief on Ripple's behalf in September 2022. The CDC said that the court's decision could have big effects and pointed out that the crypto industry needs clear rules about what counts as a security. Ripple's general counsel, Stuart Alderoty, took to Twitter to say that he was sure Ripple would win. He pointed out that the SEC had not met any of the requirements of the Supreme Court's Howie test, which is used to decide if an asset can be considered a security. Garlinghouse has also criticized the SEC, accusing the agency of attempting to expand its jurisdiction beyond what Congress has granted it. Howie test. Have you ever heard of the Howie test? It's a term used in the United States to figure out if a deal can be called an investment contract, which would make it a security under the Securities Act of 1933 and the Securities Exchange Act of 1934. Essentially, the test helps identify if there's an investment of money in a common enterprise with a reasonable expectation of profits to be derived from the efforts of others. If those elements are present, then the transaction can be considered a security. The SEC has been using the Howie test for many years to determine whether certain assets, including cryptocurrencies, fall under the definition of security. XRP. Is it a security or a commodity? One of the biggest questions surrounding XRP is whether it should be classified as a security. This depends on the SEC's Howie test. The Ripple lawsuit should make things clearer, which could have an effect on the whole industry. Did you know that the SEC has been cracking down on cryptocurrency tokens lately? Yep, it's true. They're investigating tokens from Binance Exchange's BNB to ApeCoin, which supports the popular Bored Ape NFT ecosystem. And it doesn't stop there. The SEC is looking into token launches from all angles. What's particularly interesting is that if the SEC comes out on top in their case against Ripple, it could set a precedent for future regulatory actions. So the outcome of this case could have major implications for the entire cryptocurrency industry. It's definitely something worth keeping an eye on. The ongoing SEC versus Ripple case is a pivotal moment for the cryptocurrency industry. As the case goes on, it's important for everyone involved to know what could happen and what it means. If Ripple is found guilty, it could set a precedent for more rules in the industry, which could slow down growth and innovation. On the other hand, if Ripple is successful, it could make it possible for regulations to be less strict, which would encourage new ideas and bring in more investors. As people who have money in the crypto world, it's our job to keep up with news and talk to regulators and policymakers. We need to work together to make sure the future of cryptocurrencies is safe, new, and open to everyone. So let's keep up with what's going on in this case and keep pushing for a regulatory framework that helps this exciting and quickly changing industry grow and develop new ideas. We can help make sure that the future of cryptocurrency is bright and full of promise if we all work together. Thanks for joining us, and be sure to stay tuned for more updates on the SEC versus Ripple case and other important cryptocurrency news.